Hey, it's MBS here. Look, I am no gardener, wouldn't know how to plant a seed, but I get inspired by gardens, and I've got 3 ways gardens can provide inspiration for you right now. Now, the first comes from the National Botanic Gardens in Canberra, truly one of my favorite places, and I was just doing a photo shoot there just the other day. And one of the things that I saw really clearly is they've organized the Botanic Gardens into microclimates. There's the rainforest gully, there's the red centre, homage to Australia's desert, there's the Banksia area, there's the eucalyptus lawns, and they've really gone, look, different parts of Australia, different plants, different microclimates, and you need different soil and different sun and different water to really make those thrive. And I realized that in our organizational life and in our home life, we need to be creating microclimates for the people in our lives so they can thrive as well. You know, just the other day I was over at my brother's house and I got to peek in the bedrooms of my niece and my 2 nephews. 3 very different microclimates. You know, one nephew is really into the kind of the cute anime right now, so big stuffed animals with big eyes, and there's a kind of real cuteness theme. My other one, one of my nieces, is really into pole dancing right now. I know, and she's actually got a pole in her bedroom, but she's got a very kind of austere white monochromatic bedroom, very different indeed. So I think the key thing to take away from this is, are you creating microclimates for the people in your life to thrive? How do you provide different metaphorical soil and water and sun and elevation and shade so they can be the best of who they can be? The second insight actually is inspired by the tree over there, the Wollemi pine. Now, that was believed extinct up to 1994. It was only known through the fossil record, but they discovered it in a secluded little valley in New South Wales. And they did something rather brilliant. They discovered that it could be cloned. And what they did is they took some seeds from the valley and they took it out to all the botanic gardens and they cloned them in the botanic gardens. And then the really brilliant move was to then take those trees and say anybody can come and get a Wollemi pine and plant it, so it got distribution across the whole of Australia. And there's so many great things about that story, but one of the things that I realized is to really scale, to really reach success, to have impact, you need to engage your community. And the way that these organizations and these researchers went, to save this tree, it's not enough for me to care about it. I have to find a way of enrolling a community, a group of people around it to help save it. So that might be the second takeaway for you, which is, you know, how do I really truly engage my community in the things that matter to me? And, you know, having shared 2 insights with you that are around conservation really, and allowing things to flourish, I think the third insight I'd share with you, and I'm not sure, but this is probably largely unique to Australia, is that many trees in Australia, many seeds pods in Australia, only open when there's been a fire. They need the heat of the fire to release the seeds, because they know that if there's a bushfire, as we call our natural fires in Australia, if there's been a bushfire, there's been devastation, one, but also there's ash on the ground ready to receive the seed, for the seed to actually get growing again and for that species to rejuvenate. So that's the final takeaway, which is, all right, you might need some heat. You might need to put your feet to the fire to actually allow rejuvenation, to allow rebirth. It's very phoenix-like, isn't it? So 3 key things to take away, inspired by gardens, the Botanic Gardens and now my parents' garden. First of all, what's the microclimate that you might be creating? Secondly, how do you engage your community to scale the reach and the impact you want to have? And thirdly, is it time to stop with the watering the garden and apply a little heat to allow those dormant seeds to burst forth and a new cycle of regeneration to begun? Of course, if you're watching this on video, I'm really curious which of those 3 tips feels most useful or most powerful for you. Share it in the comments if you wouldn't mind. Hey, it's MBS here. If you've got a question you'd like me to try and answer for you, 2 ways to send it. Either drop it into the comments below or email me directly at teammbs@mbs.works.